Boruto episode 250. I just wrapped it up literally maybe 5 minutes ago. And can I say, first thoughts, I'm loving, once again, as I said in the previous video, the development of this arc. This episode, though it wasn't per se rich in maybe the action or seeing Boruto those, or I feel like the story was advancing significantly, it was pivotal. It was a really rich piece of an episode to the advancement of a character that will then lead to advancing the story. With that said, I've really been appreciating how this arc so far has been really up in the stakes in per se the lives lost, the casualties that are taking place, and how it's gonna affect the greater story. I mean, we got to see Ikeda's sister die in this episode, and he have to witness that. We also get into complexions of the Funato clan, like what does that really entail? I'm really enjoying it. It kind of just gives the Boruto world, makes it bigger, makes it more interesting, makes it more exciting. It's not only about the Hyuga clan or the Uchiha clan. We're seeing the hidden myths and their clans within it, and getting to form a relationship with these characters. Like, I think that's kind of cool. I'm not sure if you guys have watched Finland before, but amazing anime. I'm looking forward to digging into it when it comes back, but it's giving me Vinland vibes, you know, you go into the sea, you know, your warriors getting things done. It's almost tribal in the sense that you have guys working, the women doing, you know, whatever they're doing. I like the aesthetic of the Funato clan. I like the fact that we were given an episode to explore the dimensions of that clan. But more importantly, like, while watching it, you're not exactly sure where this is all going to tie in, or where you're even starting off in the episode to begin with. Like, seeing, I'm forgetting the kid's name, the kid with yellow hair, the kid who approached Boruto the last episode. We're seeing him and how he's, you know, just a kid and talking to Ikeda and having these hopes and dreams of learning how to fight from his dad. And it's like, am I watching a flashback? Like, what's going on? And you're not seeing like the tonal or the visual cues that it is a flashback, so you're kind of entering the episode kind of, you know, blind. You know, you're flying a little bit blind until it all starts to tether together. With that said, the episode proves to be set in just before the interactions of the last episode and leading into the actions that happened after. It's like really right before the previous episode, really, but it feels very present, especially with the Ikeda part, because we haven't got to see what he's gonna do yet. And I'm thinking that's gonna unfold next episode, but it makes it really exciting. What I really appreciate about this arc, though, right now, is the fact that we lost Kagura and we lost Habichiko, but now we're getting to see Ikeda, this character we were introduced in this arc and have some affiliation with. Especially with this episode, it kind of drives home your sentimentality, you know, your involvement in his future and the possibilities of it. And having seen him fought so long to hold on to his convictions and seemingly let go of them after tragedy on tragedy, and having his clan, his family, his dad particularly, expecting or demanding, you know, him to become this thing that he doesn't want to become. And in the end, we see him decide to become that. It's really interesting. Excellent character development. I'm really hoping that the next episode, or whenever the showdown happens with him and we get to see the power that he has that's been lying dormant, I really hope that the Talk no Jutsu comes through for this guy. Because, I mean, you got to see it. You got to see it from both sides. You got to see what he wanted, what they wanted, why they kind of want it, and how it's seemingly misguided. You know, it's driven by hatred and the stories that they have been told and the stories that they've been told. It's, as the previous episode or the entire arc so far has been known, that it's a cycle. It's cyclical. And the only way you break it is by choosing a different path. So with that said, I feel really bad for Ikeda and how he, felt the need to switch gears, and I'm hoping that this arc proves to do him justice, considering all the tragedy we've seen so far with his sister, with Hibichiko, with Kagura. I'm hoping that this guy, he could be the difference. He could be the doorway or the gateway to the mist for the series moving forward, and that he's this character that lives on and grows up and becomes this great figure that Boruto and the Leaf could rely on or depend on and trust. And obviously explore the fun nature, well, not the fun nature, but the fun sides, the more interesting sides of the Funato clan as well through his lens. So I'm really hoping for it. I think this arc is ripe for it at this point. I think they set the stage really well with all the loss that we've seen. We've seen somebody really good get taken down being Kagura. We got to see someone who wasn't good and then change their mind at the end and still get taken down. What happens when we see a character who's been good changes their mind for a split second and hopefully, fingers crossed, gets to live another day because they resort back to themselves. Fingers crossed. But all in all, really strong episode. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, I'm a sucker for development, progression, regression at some times, but then bringing it back for a greater progression for the characters. And I think this episode did an excellent job at filling in the gaps, adding a richer layer to the story, and being a perfect segue into what's to come. It didn't feel like a filler episode. It didn't feel unnecessary, and it upped the emotional investment that you as an audience or us as an audience are plugging into this arc. I'm enjoying it so far, and I look forward to the next one. Thank you guys for listening. That wraps up this video, and until next time, have a great day, and we'll talk again soon.